Hello, this quick explanation about the workaround related to the 100% CPU usage in Anthem, as well as for stuttering of graphics and input lag. I'm going to be using Afterburner, as well as the Riva Tuner statistic server, which is bundled with Afterburner to change the change the FPS. And the idea of the method was to limit the FPS, which consequently limits the load that the game puts on your CPU. And because of that, our CPU is not going to be always at 100%. It will have some wiggling room to calculate some other important tasks, including the input. So let's fire up the Anthem. And sorry if you hear my dogs are happy. Just a second. Well, we don't care about this screen, but you already see the FPS is going haywire. But we'll wait until we are actually in the game. My CPU is at 100% even on the loading screens, which is truly unexplainable what they do there. And believe me, when the FPS is capped, the CPU is not at 100%. So it's not that they are calculating something important there. They're really calculating something to do the graphics, which should be normally done by the graphics card. Okay, so on the frame rate graph, you see that the FPS is the graph is very distorted. It has a lot of spikes. It's like a forest. What we are trying to do is to lower the FPS to the point when the CPU can actually support it, and that the graph is more or less linear. This spikes that you see is they're perceived by your brain and eyes as micro stutters, as well as pay attention to the task manager here. The darker shaded area is the kernel mode that is supposed to process all the inputs, and the lesser room we have there, the more lag you may experience with the inputs. And the lag with the inputs is manifested as if you like losing the control of your character in game, as if your mouse or keyboard just locked up for no reason. So what we are going to do is to experiment with our FPS and see how that is affecting our CPU. So right now the FPS is uncapped, so we'll put there 90. Right? We'll put there 90 and see if that helps. Just look at just monitor your CPU and FPS. We are trying to lower the CPU so there is still a room for unusual demand or busy scenes, and we want to make our FPS graph as linear as possible. That's our goal. It didn't help, and keep in mind my CPU is on a lower side. It's i5. It's pretty old, and hopefully you have a better CPU, but we should be able to solve it even for this processor. So we'll put there 70. Does that help? Still at 90%, 99%, 98. Not really. 100. Not really, didn't help. Oh, I didn't enter the number. Genius. Alright. Alright. We have some room. So our FPS graph, at least the upper bound, is becoming more straight. Let's put 60. As well as note the kernel mode in the task manager became wider. It means that the important parts now have at least some available capacity from the CPU. Let's put the cap like 60. Not there yet, but look at the FPS. This is not really busy area, and we are idling there, but we already see an improvement. So we still want to get rid of those micro spikes there. Let's put it 50. Alright, the CPU feels better. It's at 85, 88, 90%. Not at 100 anymore. Every time the CPU approaches 100, you will see spikes in FPS. And it's not normal. It's what this game does to it, and I don't know why. So also you can see that the kernel mode is much wider. It means that there will be almost no input lag. I've played with the capped FPS for maybe 4 days now, and I had never experienced input lag since I implemented this. So, well, let's just look as an experiment. For science, we'll put here 30. I don't know if you're good with 30, or maybe you have very bad CPU and you can tolerate 30, but let's look the result. Let's look at the result. See, this is like straight line. Our frame rate is not fluctuating, or like virtually not fluctuating at all. And our CPU is at 70%. So it has a lot of room for whatever activity is needed to be done in more busier area during fights, when the graphics are rich and whatnot, and the experience is really smooth. That's what we were trying to achieve. That's how the workaround works. Hopefully you will be able to do it just using vsync, how I did it, or maybe just using some third-party programs to cap the FPS. I don't know if this method works for AMD users. I'm an NVIDIA user. I don't know if they are related in any way, but just make sure that you monitor your CPU usage and frame rate. So this will what makes the experience smooth in this game. Hopefully the company will come up with a proper fix, so we don't need to do this shady business. Until then, hopefully you will find that helpful, and I will see you in the game. Goodbye.